Welcome to JMC Live. I am your host, Jeremy Caverley. We do this every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on livestream.com. You can share our live show via Twitter or Facebook right here on the website, and it'll be a great one. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today, and I want to get right into it and let you guys know some of the things that are actually happening. One of the breaking news of the day is going to be about where Christianity stands. People depend on different sources and different directions of things they believe, things they find out, things they're trying to understand. The Independent Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life phoned over 3,400 Americans, asking them 32 specific questions about the Bible, Christianity, other world religions, famous religious people, figures, constitutional principles, and religion governing principles in public life. The average person answered only half of these questions incorrectly. Those who scored the highest on this were atheists, agnostics, and Jews and Mormons. It gets even more crazy that when you break this down even more, the question was normally for people 13 years of age and older. The group continued to break down the questions and break down how and the why and the if. And the cool thing that we're going to do, it looks like white evangelicals were 17.6, white Catholics 16.0, white mainland Protestant 15.8, nothing in particular, nothing in particular, it's a song in a cartoon, so 15.2, black Protestant 13.4, and Hispanic 11.6. This is the Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life. 3,412 people asking these questions. Now, we have something fun for you today. We're going to ask you the questions. And I want you to get a paper and pen. Get a paper and pen. I'll give you a little moment. I'm going to ask you some questions. I may get some of these wrong. Brenda may get some of these wrong. But here we go. Question number 1. Which Bible figure is mostly associated with leading the Exodus from Egypt? Number 1, Job. Number 2, Elijah. Number 3, Moses. Or number 4, Abraham. Exodus from Egypt. What is the correct answer? Anyone know who is the correct answer?
Moses.
Biblical figure that led Exodus from Egypt. That would be Moses, correct?
Moses.
Moses
opposes.
What was Mother Teresa's religion? That would be Catholicism. Number 3. Which of the following is not one of the 10 commandments? Do not commit adultery. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Do not steal. Or keep the Sabbath holy. Kind of a trick question. Actually, one of these is in the Satanic Bible. Yes, do unto others as you would have them do unto you is Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, the ritualistic rites of revenge and vengeance.
How can it be?
Do unto others as you have them do unto you. That was not. Which one is it?
As they have done to you, not as you would have them do it. Right? Do unto others
Which
as
one
they
do you
have...
think it is? Brenda's kind of confused.
I'm arguing with you.
Which one is not a Ten Commandment? Do not commit adultery. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
But that...
Do not steal and keep the Sabbath holy. Which one's not a Ten Commandment?
Okay, that isn't. That one
That's
isn't.
not a Ten Commandment.
That was something Jesus said.
That's something Jesus said. But if you twist these words and say, do unto others as they have done to you...
That is in the Satanic Bible.
That's in the Satanic Bible. Meaning, if someone cusses you out, according to Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, you're supposed to not only cuss them out, but slap them in the face.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is something that Jesus said.
Well, I thought
when does the Jewish Sabbath begin? Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. Is Ramadan, this is something Miranda probably doesn't know, a Hindu festival of lights, a Jewish holiday of atonement, or the Islamic holy month?
Islamic holy month.
How do you know?
Because they've been promoting it on the television, and Mr. Obama had a whole frickin' day.
Yes, President Obama invited leaders of the Islamic faith to celebrate Ramadan in the White House, but he will not publicly address the National Day of Prayer and have Christian leaders come into the White House.
Yep.
Next question. Which of the following best describes the Catholic teaching about the bread and wine used for communion? The bread and wine are actually become the body and blood of Jesus Christ? Or the bread and wine are symbols of the body of Jesus Christ?
It is the
What
first.
do Catholics believe?
It's the first one. They believe that the wine and the bread actually become the body of Jesus Christ.
You know, there are actually Protestant Christians who believe that the bread and the wine are only symbols of the body and blood of Christ. And Catholics believe the blood and the body are exactly verbatim,
the wine and
concretely, the bread and the wine.
Yeah.
Next question. We're going to answer these pretty quickly because there's a lot. In which religion are Vishnu and Shiva central figures? Islam, Hinduism, or Taoism? We'll say it again. Vishnu and Shiva. Islam, Hindu, or Tao?
I have my hand raised. Can I answer?
Yes.
It's Hindu.
Alright, explain. What do they do?
Shiva is their main god.
What does Shiva do?
She judges. That's what I really don't know much about it, but
yeah, Shiva, depending on if you're a really big fan of video games, Shiva is always predicted as some kind of element form of ice. But yes, Shiva is a big figure in the Hindu.
But the Hindus have thousands of gods, but Shiva is like the main to supposed to be like one of the main ones. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll have to check that later. Number 8. Which Bible figure is mostly closely associated with remaining obedient to God despite suffering? Suffering, the Bible, and obedient to God. Keywords here. We got 4 people. Number 1, Job. Number 2, Elijah. Number 3, Moses. Or number 4, Abraham. What is the correct answer?
I would say Job.
It would be Job. Because
So
he got a job. Correct.
Okay. So far I've answered them all correct.
Here's a tricky one. Because depending on who you talk to, this is an argument. This question is tricky because depending on who you talk to, will say one thing and they'll say another. And I'll explain what I mean. And I'll explain why the answer is such. Joseph Smith's religion. Is it Catholicism, Jewish, Buddhist, Mormon, or Hindu?
It's Mormon.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Joseph Smith is the founder of the Mormon religion, but if you study history texts, there is argument that he was a Puritan, Quaker, / Protestant, / possible Catholic who created a new denomination.
In Mormonism.
So the actual answer, based on the availability of what we know, and the common answer, he's the founder of the Mormons, so therefore he's a Mormon.
Yeah. Okay.
But most people don't know his...
So far we've answered them all right.
Number 10.
Yes, I have.
According to rulings by the U.S. Supreme Court, is a public school teacher permitted to lead a class in prayer in a public school in the United States? Yes or no?
No. Is that correct? Because all I ever hear is like, nobody can pray in school and you can't.
No, they're not allowed to do that. But they can privately set a student off the side. And if you're friends with the teacher, you can pray with your teacher. I do that.
Okay.
Number 11. According to rulings by U.S. Supreme Court, is a public school teacher permitted to read the Bible as an example of literature or not? Yes or no?
Ooh, I think that depends on what state you're in, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, when I was in Texas in high school, we had Bible literature. I am the participant. The answer is yes, permitted.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I received the H award, which is the highest honors for the class for all.
Well, it says yes, but I know for a fact that certain states would have a huge problem with that, while other states wouldn't.
All right, next question, number 12. What religion? Time.
We got 3 minutes.
What religion do most people in Pakistan, or Pakistan, however you want to say that, consider themselves? What religion do most people in Pakistan consider themselves? Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, or Christian?
Muslim.
Muslim is correct. Muslim is one of the most founding historic religions. Also Christianity and some Hindu has got in a little bit. Hindus seem to be a little more, almost a little more protected than the Christians, because Muslims hate more Christians than they do Hindus. But overall, if you get a radical, they want to kill a Hindu and an agnostic and anybody.
Yeah.
Next question coming up. What is the name of the person whose writings and actions inspired what became the Protestant Reformation? Let me say this again. What is the name of the person whose writings and actions inspired the Protestant Reformation? We have 3 choices.
I already know, but
and I'll describe
I'll
describe what they all did. Martin Luther, Thomas Aquinas, and John Wesley. John Wesley is the founder of the Methodist Church and the Wesleyan Church. Thomas Aquinas, some people know about him, some people don't. We'll talk about him again later. And Martin Luther. Martin Luther is the correct answer. The Protestant Reformation. He created Lutheran.
People may be thinking that I'm looking at the answers and I'm actually not.
There are no answers on the quiz. I just know the answers.
So do I.
Now here's a tough one that I don't know if Miranda's going to know. Which of these religions aim at nirvana, which is a state of being free from all suffering?
Not a band. No, we're not talking about the band Nirvana. We're talking about the spiritual.
So we have
whatever.
Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism.
Well, I'm going to say Buddhism. I thought that was that's the first step.
Yes,
I'm right.
A lot of people argue over Buddhism is wanting the peace and everything. Hinduism is very close to the answer as well.
But am I right about it is Buddhism, right? Is it?
We'll find out soon.
Okay, well, let's take a break.
All right. We'll take a break and we'll come back with our final question. I like this. We might
and
do
the
this more
answer
often.
to whether or not the answer is Buddhism.